be the nominee in 2024. But the more time goes on, like, I guess they're actually doing this.
Well, the fascinating thing is they will not allow, for the primaries, they're not going to allow debates.
Oh, they don't want to let RFK on a stage with Biden.
Yeah.
RFK will rip that old man up.
And then imagine if his voice was good.
It's really a shame.
It is a shame.
It's really the job is really a speaking tour.
Yeah.
And it's a real issue that he has issues speaking, but
he did have surgery recently, and it's better than it was before.
Is it better?
Yeah.
But he's an interesting guy in a lot of ways. And I know people will say because he was a vaccine skeptic way before the COVID vaccine. He's been a skeptic of vaccines in general. And a lot of people say that's like, oh, this is a conspiracy theory or it's too far. But, that argument after COVID is really much weaker than it used to be. Because people are actually like, yeah, I'm listening now.
Yes.
Now I'm actually kind of listening to that guy.
It seems like there's a playbook, and you guys have been following this playbook forever.
Yes. And I got his speech. His announcement speech last week, he spoke for over an hour, and I mean, it was really fantastic. I don't agree with everything the guy says, but the major theme of his speech was that there is this unholy alliance of big business and big government, and they're working together to screw over the American people. And damned if anyone can argue that that's not true.
No,
that's just so obviously the case, And he went through this whole thing. He was really great on the stuff on the war in Ukraine and being skeptical about what the hell are we doing here. Really, really great on the COVID stuff. And he's a Kennedy, and he's not just one of these peripheral Kennedys, I married a third cousin type Kennedy. He's Bobby Kennedy's kid.
Yeah.
There's something powerful about that, even still, I think.
And it's amazing that we've come so far. We're so far gone that they're not grasping that. Yeah. They're not latching onto that. You want a Democratic president? He could be the guy. But the thing is, they don't want that. They want someone who adheres to the narrative 100% completely, doesn't get off track, is in cahoots with big business and big tech and everything else.
Well, it's just that the narrative is part of it, but it's the narrative serves the system, know. So the problem is that he's kind of outside the system, at least to some degree. At least he seems like he is. I don't know, but there's also something to Look, I don't know exactly. In fact, I haven't heard him address it. I'm sure he has, but I don't know exactly where he is on his uncle and his father's, assassinations. But I know that his dad was completely convinced that the JFK assassination was a conspiracy that they weren't telling us about. He did not buy at all into the Lee Harvey Oswald lone, wolf thing. So it's got to also be, you're a different type of outsider to the system if you believe the CIA killed your uncle.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different than just
your dad,
and maybe
too.
your dad. Yeah, that's a little bit different than just while I disagree with my opponent, I respect his, opinion or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a real no, you understand how evil and corrupt this system is. And that's what makes him an attractive candidate to me. I like people who recognize how evil and corrupt the system is, because it really is both of those things.
And he's got direct connection to it. I mean, it was evil to his family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, have you read The Real Anthony Fauci, his book?
No, I haven't. I've heard him talk about it in several different interviews. Yeah.
If he hasn't been sued yet, and he hasn't been sued yet for it, does that mean it's true? I mean,